J Money is money. I'm coming to you. This has been a hot, contested, talked about game. At one point, the number was plus 19. It has already dipped down to plus 17. Me personally, I said if this number opens up at 20 plus, I'm taking the Pistons no matter what happens. It opened close, has now dropped down a few points. Why do you like the Pistons in this spot getting a big number?
Yeah, and the line tells us a lot as well, right? I mean, we know that the Celtics, they could be laying 24 points in this one now. I know there's a couple big names that's on the injury report for the Celtics, real injuries as well. Well, I think Tatum is probably more likely to play, but Jaylen Brown actually fell on his back in that game versus the Lakers. So honestly, not really expecting him to go. I'd be really surprised if the Celtics trot out everybody. I can't believe this is a national TV game on NBA TV, but I'll take the Pistons here. They've been looking scrappy. They don't have Isaiah Stewart, but at least they got Jalen Duren back, which gives he's the better center than Stewart as well. I mean, Stewart's like a power forward, but I like the Pistons in this spot. It's not really a bet on the Pistons. It's really a fade of the Celtics coming off a 4-game road trip, West Coast road trip. So they're flying back East Coast. You know all about that, Sean. It's just like you're super groggy when you come back. You know what I'm saying? So I know that they had 2 days off. They had a big win on Christmas Day versus the Lakers, and this is just a spot where I would fade the home team in this particular spot. Taking the names off the jerseys here, land 17 in this spot is not something that I'm looking towards to do. I know that the Pistons have been playing horrible, but I do think that they finally bottomed out after actually breaking the NBA history, breaking the record for most wins in most losses. It definitely wasn't wins. Most losses in a row in 1 year, my guys. So I like the Pistons here plus the 17. It's not a bet on the Pistons. It's the fate of the Boston Celtics. They're on the first leg of a back-to-back as well. This is a horrible spot to be laying 17 with the home team here. So I will put a little small play on the Pistons plus the 17.
Yeah, 27 straight L's. We know that. And they haven't been any good on against the spread either. 10, 19, and 1 against the spread overall. But this is a very interesting spot. I'm going to come back. We'll circle back here because I have the total in this game. AC, how do you feel about Jay taking the points in the 17 with the Pistons?
Yeah, this is definitely Detroit or nothing for me. And not only would I take the plus 17, I would sprinkle the money line, man. I think you might get some craziness that might happen. I know the Pistons just set the record. I know they have a terrible against the spread record, but they have covered 2 of the last 4. They're playing a little better. Kate Cunningham had like an elite level second half there. If he can, equalize him and Jason Tatum to be, the same, then I could take the rest of the 4 Pistons guys to handle the 17 points. So I like that a lot.
Yeah, if the Pistons snap the 27 straight L streak at TD Garden where the Boston Celtics have not lost all year, that would be something and very typical Boston Celtics in a not care, we'll just show up and fuck around spot for them. Coming off the big road trip. And just since we're on the same game here, AC, I'm going to jump you and I'm going to go because I agree with a lot of the things Jay said about the spot for the Celtics. So I'm going to go over 229.5 Celtics Pistons in this matchup. The Pistons have showed life over this last week. That 27 game losing streak, Jay got me saying win streak. Jay got me all shook on the Pistons. 27 straight L's is starting to wear on those boys a little bit. They talked about it in the presser. They said, man, we are feeling that shit everywhere we go. Everywhere we show up, someone's asking us about when are we going to get a W. Monty said it. Cade said it. And that shit has to be getting to them because they have been showing a lot better effort coming down the stretch. They've been in a position where they could have won a few games to snap the streak. They are just absolutely horrendous coming down the stretch. And they went away from Cade and went to Alec Burks for whatever reason the other night coming down the stretch. That didn't really make any sense either for Monty Williams and the crew. But this is a perfect scheduling spot to catch the Boston Celtics sleeping enough to where they're going to give up a few points. I could see this game being like 128, 115 type of spot. That's why I'm looking at the over 229.5. Between the scheduling, the Pistons absolutely just trying to come in and make something happen, and a perfect spot for the Boston Celtics to come in, relax, but still be able to score because they're an absolute offensive machine. If you talk about their adjusted offensive rating, it's at 121. That's better than the Indiana Pacers. They're plus 10.1 on the net rating adjusted. So the strength of schedule is also number 2 in the NBA. So they've been doing this against some of the best teams in the NBA. Also, Drew Holiday scored his first 20-point game of the year on Christmas. They're still got bucket getters regardless if Jaylen Brown comes in, and our plays are not dependent on what shakes with the injury report. I think this is a really good spot for the Boston Celtics to potentially hang 130 plus. We know that's in their realm, and then they're going to be sleeping enough at the wheel where I think the Pistons will be able to score enough points to push this over 229 and a half. AC, how you feel about the total?
I like it, man. The only thing I think you got wrong was you mean Detroit's gonna drop 130 tomorrow night, right?
Are you being
I hope
serious, or are you
I,
around? Give me the
no,
be
man. Like
be honest
if
with me.
I like the side on especially an underdog, I'm gonna sprinkle the money line. It doesn't matter if it's plus 800 or whatever. I mean, if you have to see a path where your team is not only gonna cover but also win outright.
The only
Sean,
thing, go ahead, Jay.
I think it's a really good look on the over. The way I'm looking at the game, I don't see the Celtics, just like you said, they're going to play their offensive game. They could do that in their sleep, even though I do think they're going to be down either one of them, Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. But still, I'm expecting them not to come in with their best defensive effort here, kind of just lollygagging around. I mean, they can win this game by 1 point and they'd be perfectly fine. It's still a win in the win column here. But I've seen crazier things. I've seen the Brooklyn Nets beat the Milwaukee Bucks when the Bucks were top tier as 19.5-point underdogs. I've seen this movie before. Celtics 14-0 at the house, probably the best team in the league, going up against the worst team. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the Pistons shock the world here. So I think the over is definitely correlated with Pistons plus 17. Celtics can put up 115 in their sleep here, but I do not see them coming out, getting down in their defensive stance, going all out to try to stop the Pistons. Like, you look at it, this is the Pistons. We're coming off a huge 4-game West Coast road trip, a big win on Christmas, all this. They're looking at this game like, oh, we can just kind of wake up and come into this game. We don't give a damn about the Pistons and the first game of back-to-back. I definitely think the over is the play if you're looking towards the total here.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing for me on the money line piece is Celtics don't want to be a part of that breaking the Pistons breaking the losing streak against them. So even if they are sleepwalking for 3 quarters, at some point in the fourth, it's going to be like, all right, let's actually lock in and make sure we get this W. But like Jay said, crazier things have happened.